It's time now for the Sports Objective Podcast. No talking heads, just guys who love sports. Here's Dave Richmond.
Welcome into the Sports Objective Podcast, an unusual podcast because normally we'd have a preview, but we had to switch our normal podcast for the preview because of the Temple game, and this is actually game day that you're releasing this podcast, so good luck to the Pirates tonight as they take on the Temple Owls. With us, ladies and gentlemen, the usual suspects. We have Kyle from LaGrange Barber. How you doing?
What's going on, Dave? How are you?
Well, I just want to let you know I got some pictures of you, and we're going to share that in a minute.
Well, those, you know what? Those probably are exactly what they look like. And I don't give a damn.
Unfortunately, I'm frustrated because I have no pictures of Bubba right now. What's up, Bubba Rosamond?
Why does that frustrate you?
Well, I've always wanted to
No.
Well, we'll have pictures. We'll have pictures of Bubba naked at the airport after we update.
I was trying to get
I'm
some
disturbed,
Bubba
Dave.
pictures.
No, here we are, the first day of October, and the weather around here, it feels like the first week of August.
No doubt about it. And ladies and gentlemen, making his debut to the podcast, a guy that we've been wanting to have on for a long time is one of our guest co-host, Andrew DiGiovanni. How you doing, man?
Fantastic. Happy to be here, and what a night to make a debut. Go Pirates.
Yeah, we're going to get a win tonight. Come on, let's do it. We got to do it. I'm feeling more confident after the podcast or playback. I thought we were going to lose it, but, it's game day, so I have a different feeling, and Thursday night we'll see how things go. We want to bring Andrew on for a lot of topics and a lot of things. Where do you guys want to start?
Well, I guess, I'll start with the elephant in the room.
Okay.
With the Chancellor Gerlach, obviously that's the talk. Everybody in Pirate Nation and evidently around the world, as the New York Post is reporting on it. The pictures and videos of Chancellor Dan interacting with some females at a couple of bars, and I'll just say this, and I don't know if anybody else wants to comment on it, but I'll make my statement brief. As we sit here recording this on Tuesday night, everything that I see, it looks like a sit-up to me. It reeks of a sit-up. I think that I don't know to what level, but with the statement that the bar made, saying that all the Chancellor did was he was too kind to a woman that wouldn't leave him alone and was all over it. And from what I understand, she was asked to leave. So yes. I think the pictures were taken at just the right angle. It reeks of a setup. It reeks of somebody trying to create a story. Who that somebody is, time will tell. But I think it stinks. And as of right now, who knows what'll come out that may change my mind. But as of right now, I'm fully in support of the Chancellor, and we'll go from there. If anybody else wants to comment on it, how about it?
Bubba, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to hear Chancellor Dan Gerlach on Pirate Radio yesterday afternoon. Excellent interview. First of all, I admired him for not running and taking cover and just coming on the show and telling his side of the story. And so what he said, and I know it certainly matches up. Kyle was giving you some of those thoughts, and he was just describing what took place. And then I know he was readily admitting that he said the main thing that I'm guilty of is poor judgment. And he said it certainly will not happen again, but I certainly did not do anything illegal at the same time.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that is that I've really liked this Chancellor. I think this Chancellor has been what a Chancellor should be, and a Chancellor of East Carolina University. I think he's done an excellent job of representing this university all the way down to being in the boneyard. He's actually not been a stuffed shirt, and yes, I said that, and I was talking about the previous Chancellor, so I'm on record as saying that. I don't care if anybody gets mad at me for saying that.
Yeah, and Dave, I don't mean to cut you off. Quite frankly, I'd rather have a Chancellor that talks to women than pretends to be one.
Okay, where's the rim shot? Thank you very much. That was nice. And I was also going to say that if there was ever time to have a Chancellor where we write a letter to the editor and have a whole bunch of signatures, it would be this Chancellor, not the previous one, because I think he's actually been doing his job, and he's been earning his salary. So I will
say, petitions online, Dave. Well, go sign them. Last count, there was around 10,000 signatures. So, or the last time I saw it. So go on and sign it. I think, in 48 hours or so, you get 10,000 signatures. That says a whole hell of a lot. Andrew, are you going to keep quiet on this and save your comments for later?
All right, we have Andrew now. Andrew, did you want to comment on, we were talking about the very fact of that there's been 10,000 signatures for a petition. How do you feel about it? Can you please talk about that?
Well, we are certainly in the age of populism, and certainly everything's been said that's going to be said about this the last 2 days. I heard the interview this morning on IBX Media, Pirate Radio last night, and certainly the Chancellor has owned it. He has apologized. He has confessed that something that he wouldn't do again, to give a black eye to the university, is not becoming of a chancellor or interim chancellor. But at the same time, it's not a crime, and there obviously may have been some foul play or some nefarious components all factored in. So I think the gentleman, his record so far, to stand on his own. If he's got the support of the students he represents and the staff, then I say let things shake out before we rush to judgment.
Andrew, you said there was an interview this morning on Interbakes Media.
Yeah, with Henry Hint.
I did not hear that. That was between Gerlach and Henry?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How did that go?
It went very well. To be objective, they asked some pretty pointed questions, but direct and fair. They had previously interviewed, I did not hear this interview, they interviewed a woman who works at the Club 519, and she attested to the Chancellor's behavior, that he was on the up and up, and nothing lascivious happened or took place, and that one of the patrons there was a little bit out of hand and later had to be asked to leave the establishment. So they pretty much cleared Gerlach's name firsthand. Again, I did not hear that interview portion before I tuned in. That's what I heard.
Well, I'm glad to hear that went well on Interbakes Media this morning. I didn't get a chance to hear that interview again as we record this on Tuesday, so I'm glad to hear
the questions were similar and the answers were consistent. So
anytime you have consistent answers, you're typically telling the truth.
Yeah, I don't understand. And to me, I don't have a problem. I would just say this: I don't have a problem with the Chancellor being out. He is the Chancellor. I don't think there's a problem with him being out. And if he goes to a establishment, if it's wherever around town, as long as he's conducted himself in a normal manner, meaning not all over, like hitting on women, all over women, that sort of thing, then I don't have a problem with it. And I think that's why when you guys say this reeks of a setup, I'm just wondering, there's other things that we don't know, variables, now that it's we're putting this out for Thursday's podcast, so there might be stuff coming out by the time we release this and drop the podcast, but I really feel like everything is, on the Chancellor's part, is on the up and up, and I think that he should be able to, as a Chancellor, to go out, if he wants to go out to a restaurant, if he wants to go out to a club, whatever the case may be, he should be able to go out there as long as he's not, like I was saying, going.
I think now, Dave, a problem's going to become, hopefully he'll remain as interim Chancellor. I think now, will he pose with female students for selfies anymore? I imagine now he would be much more guarded.
Yeah, and the thing is that there are people that are upset that Chancellor Staten was rushed out of town. I think that they should understand that Chancellor was not qualified to be the Chancellor, and they'll get upset for me saying that. I really don't care. But if Chancellor Staten was okay to be Chancellor, then anybody can be Chancellor. I'm sorry. And I've been on the record saying that before. And there's a reason why he was rushed out of town. There was a reason why all the factors, plus all the things we were going through during that particular time, we had to have a change, even if he was the best man or the best woman in the world, regardless. We had to have changes made they were made.
And he could have actually been both the best man and best woman in the world.
Well, that's just if Dan doesn't behave, they'll stick him out in the Star Hill Farms house. So,
yeah, exactly.
They'll quarantine him out there.
Yeah, we need to. That's another thing. We need to put a push to sell that house. It was wrong what they did, and those people know what they did that was wrong. A former member of regardless if it's a former member or not, that house should have never been sold to East Carolina, and we know that. So there's a scandal right there that nobody ever talks about, and everybody can say that's on the up and up. It was not, and so when a house is $900,000 and the university buys it for $1.3 million, you do the math. That's $400,000 more than it's worth. I'm sorry, but that's not correct. And anyway, I don't think, going back to Chancellor Dan, I think he's done a really good job. Here's a guy who was actually helping students move in August, beginning of the semester. Most chancellors have never done that. I thought that was a classy move on his part. And again, that's the kind of chancellor I want. So,
absolutely.
What do you guys think?
No, I think absolutely, and hopefully this will all blow over and he'll be able to continue on. But I guess we'll talk about that. When we release the podcast on Thursday, we'll be playing the Temple Owls, and guys, we previewed that game at length last night. Everybody but Andrew. So Andrew, what are your thoughts on the game with Temple, man?
I think I watched them play a couple of games this year, including holding Scott M. Montgomery to 0 for the red zone, which is not uncommon. However, looking at their defense, once again, they hit hard. They have speed at the linebacker. They're athletic and physical in the D-line, and they're going to be hard to run on. So we're going to have to pick up and adapt to a short passing game. We can utilize a tight end who's, by the way, 2 catches for 2 scores this year. We're going to have to move the pocket, not just roll out like a cornfield ball. Have design plays. Otherwise, I think Holton's going to take some hits. Could be a long night for him or a short night, depending on how they get to him. The defense is going to be hard to beat. We're going to need turnovers, and typically, the last 5 seasons, we have not had that against Temple.
Andrew, you're in a terrible cell reception area right now, my friend.
Well, I'm very sorry.
There you go. All right, there you go. Now you're back.
Just saying, it's going to be a tough defense. We're going to have an uphill battle. We're going to have to get some turnovers, and we're going to need the crowd to get involved. Low-scoring game, I think we win 24-22.
Oh, you're taking us with the win. All right. Look at Drew going out there on the line.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that.
The Pirates in the W. I hope you're right, man. I have us losing. It's funny, everybody's coming out around similar scores. I had us losing 27-13. I hope I'm wrong and you're right.
Yeah, I have us losing 27-21.
I agree with you on all your points, though. Their defense front against our offensive line scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to make plays on special teams, get some turnovers. Holton's going to have to make some runs, and I think maybe get something going in the screen passing game. What is that noise?
I don't know. What is that noise?
I don't know.
No, I don't hear it anymore. Yeah, I think we're going to have to, as we're releasing this on game day, I think the Pirates are definitely going to be. The good news is that we had a quick game, not quick game, but a short drive from Old Dominion and Norfolk back to Greenville. So we didn't have a fight there. We have a situation where some guys are banged up, but they're going to be banged up after game number 5. And this is going into game number 6. We're going to go to, I don't know what that noise is. Andrew, is that you?
I don't think so.
Bubba, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. That's not me. I just texted.
It's not you? Okay.
No.
Andrew, do you hear it?
I just hear
like a
air.
flushing noise. It's like somebody has the wipers on or something.
It's like a loud. It's like every couple of minutes. It's like.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either.
I'm driving 80 miles an hour on the interstate, if that matters.
Do you have your windows down?
I do not.
I don't know what it is.
That's what it sounded like.
I'm going to call I'm going to call Star SHP and have the Highway Patrol on you.
Listeners out there, if you can figure out what that sound is, please let us know.
Well, gentlemen, I think another key in the game, too, is if you look at Russo's stats outside of our game last year, and so far this year, he's a turnover waiting to happen. He's not a high percentage completion ratio quarterback. So if we can get pressure on the outside, if we can get Futrell engaged and get and get some pressure from the line of scrimmage, I think we can force them into a couple of turnovers. We have the secondary who's roaming now. We're getting confidence back there. I think we can make some of those things I said we had to have happen, keys to victory, actually take place on Thursday night.
One thing I would wonder, Andrew, if you're simple and you've seen our offense and your defense can come out and perform, I wonder if they'll be very conservative on offense to avoid turnovers.
That's a great question, but I'll tell you what, right now, going into the game last year, they didn't have big numbers, but they saw something on film, and they let it fly.
That's true, yeah. Well, Montgomery.
They had 2 or 3 deep balls in the first half that I think caught everybody by surprise, including our secondary. We didn't prepare for that. So
we've been in position most of the time this year for the deep ball when it's game. Now, what we got to do is learn how to play the damn thing, but at least we've been there.
Yeah, speaking of the State Highway Patrol, there's one passing me right now. And thankfully, it's not for me. Anyway, guys, I tell you what, the atmosphere, that's what I'm looking forward to tonight. Andrew, what do you think? How many fans, unfortunately, the Thursday night lends to be not anywhere close to 50,000, even under normal conditions when we're winning? Do you think we can even get, my hope is we get 40,000 there.
40,000 would be an excellent goal, a high cap. Thinking back to last time, 2015 was our last night game, and I'm thinking back to 2014, I believe we were ranked playing UConn after the breaking into the top 25. I think we had 37 or 38 that night. So the last couple of night games, I think we had 35 or 36 in 2015. So, I have 6 tickets in my group. I am going to use all 6 of them, giving away to some other friends, someone who's got a student who's a freshman, and 2 folks here in Raleigh I haven't met yet. I'll see tomorrow and give them tickets. So, I try to do my part to distribute tickets that aren't being used for free. Just encourage people to come out if it's their first game or they're just not someone who's usually engaged. Gives me an opportunity to talk to them about joining the Pirate Club and, hey, isn't this great to tailgate with us and come on out. So I know not everybody can get there. I mean, 3 of my tickets are coming from Charlotte via U.S. mail today. People will have 2 kids in school. It's a hard trip even at 2.5 hours or 3.5 hours or hour 15 from my house. So I can't blame people. I understand life is life. Things come first. But if we can get the local people involved, get people, it takes planning. If we had planned this from early in the season, hey, we all realize we have a game coming up in 2 months. Let's make arrangements now. When it comes week of or the night of, it becomes the last minute swap, a ticket exchange. But I like to think we're going to have 35,000 tickets sold.
No, I hope so. 35,000 would be a good crowd. I think the students seem to enjoy Thursday night games, and certainly the blackout will have them excited.
Yeah, they're going to be loaded people. Yeah.
So hopefully the students will come out in force and will create a good atmosphere. Is what I'm looking forward to. Hey, Andrew, I got a question for you, my friend.
Yes, sir.
We talk about this amongst ourselves. How do you feel about the music in the stadium these days?
I don't have a problem with the music selection in the stadium because not everything that I like is going to be everyone's cup of tea.
I think it's hot garbage.
I have a bigger.
I don't
problem.
like the dance beat.
I have a bigger problem with the fact that it is sometimes a challenge, and I know we got to pay bills, we got to run revenue ads, but it becomes a challenge to get any kind of cheering or chants or organic motivation going on from the band to the cheerleaders to the audience because every time there's a break in the game, it's like the TV's on at your house on blast, and you got to look up towards the east end zone, and you're watching a chicken dance or some kind of commercial. And again, and just like at your house, the commercials are always louder than this TV program. So
I agree. There's some things that need to be changed, though. I do not like the constant dance beat to the damn music. Quit putting remixes under classic rock songs before I kill somebody. Just.
And then we have, I was telling Kyle and Bubba, Andrew, we had a situation where they play Earth, Wind, and Fire in September, so it's already got a really good beat to it, and then you're adding a dance beat underneath that. It makes no sense. There's no I have no problems with trying to appeal to the whole audience, as I was telling the guys.
But they're not trying to appeal to the whole audience. I don't know who the hell they're trying to appeal to. And you can't even make the argument that it's all for the students, because I know several students that hate that crap.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway.
I don't.
So what do you think?
Evidently,
as
Drew
far as
loves
the
the
season
music,
goes, how do you feel about?
We can all confirm Drew has bad taste in music.
I'll say one thing. In 2011, we had a couple night games, and they played Rock and Roll All Night 2 different times by Kiss. And
party every day.
I have not heard that played in 8 seasons. I don't know if it's, you know more about the radio industry and copyright. I don't know if it's expensive to buy those songs or we can't play those songs.
It's a matter of a matter of basically the way it works is as far as that goes, that you have to pay royalties. So once you pay royalties across the board, then you can play whatever you want.
I understand.
That's not an issue. What it comes down to is just people, and they have their own personal taste. You have to, I was telling the guys, it's like DJing a wedding. You got 50,000 or potentially 50,000 people, 50,000 opinions. So yes, we all get that not everybody's they're going to have some alt rock, indie rock band that they want us to play. You can't do that. You have to go with what most people would like, and they may not like that, but that's the way you have to go with it.
But if you do a 27 season compilation of all the statistics, and during my time, I feel like every single time after we play Shout from the pre-Kennedy 60s, we have a bad play right after it. I'm pretty sure that's always the omen of something. You can go to many a Southern Miss game where they play Shout, and all the people on the south side get excited, and then next thing you know, we give them a 42-yard touchdown pass.
I like that song. So wait a minute now.
So
when I hear Shout, I think of Animal House when they're in the Delta House, and then all of a sudden Belushi says, "All right," and he hollers out "Gator," and they get in the floor.
Yeah, I love.
Go ahead.
No, I actually love that song, and I know what you're saying, though, Drew. You got to be in. There's enough, and here's another thing too. There's enough songs out there that are mainstream songs there's some popular songs that you have to play right now, and then there's some songs that are classic songs. It's kind of like with not to get too much in the weeds as far as the radio is concerned, but radio you have different categories. You have one called Lunar, which means every once in a while, it means like every once in a blue moon you play it. You only have 6 games anyway. There's things that you call, as I was telling the guys when we first started out together, Spice. Spice is a song that you could play that is a very popular song.
Dave,
maybe you don't want to play it all the time.
Dave.
So like when you said Rock and Roll All Night, that's a perfect example. When you play night games, you would put that in the night rotation, the night game rotation.
Can you hear me, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to tell you, now it's already passed because you couldn't hear me. But Spice is synthetic marijuana, and that has no place at Dottie Pickle City.
No, I was not. No, I was not advocating for that.
Oh, okay. So. All right. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Andrew mentioned Party Rock and Roll All Night by Kiss. If you go to YouTube, there's a fantastic video from the 2011 game against UCF with the crowd, singing that back. I want to rock and roll all night and party every day, interacting with that song, and it was fantastic. The crowd reacted great to it. So that does need to be played again at a game.
So it was the UNC game late September, and then the UCF game.
UCF in
November.
Yeah.
There you go. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
That's what the video is.
When Torrance Hunt broke a 55-yard touchdown run to win the game.
Yep. Correct.
Well, we got to. Well, hopefully we can get a win, Andrew. Do you need to run? You got time with us?
I got about 5 more minutes.
Okay.
All right. I got another question for you guys. And Bubba, you can chime in at some time too. Do you guys like the I guess it's supposed to be a ship horn or whatever it is on third down.
Oh, they changed that instead of
Last 2 years we've been doing that.
I do like it. I mean, I like it. I like the third down bell that we had before, but I like the ship horn better. Even though obviously that's something that that's something that is.
Tulane's doing it now too.
Right. Yeah, I heard them, and then maybe someone else do it. And I was watching a Tulane game against Houston, and I heard it.
Navy's always had it. In fairness,
correct. You know what I would like. You know, at some point, am I out of my mind? But at some point, did we have a bell with music afterwards? That's
we did have a bell. Yeah.
I know we had a bell. I said a bell with music afterwards.
We did.
Yeah. Okay. I thought
back in the Holtz era, because I just remember it was like the Undertaker music.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you'd hear Morgan with his ARG.
Yeah, I'd like some kind of cool music on third down. Not a bell, not a ship, but you know, I thought one of the coolest things, and I'm not going to copy Cincinnati, but at one time Cincinnati played Halloween on third down, which I always thought was badass. So I'd like to do something unique. I know Southern Miss plays Nightmare on third down. Who's that by? That's the modern rock song. Is that Five Finger Death Punch? It's somebody.
That sounds right, yeah.
So I'd like to do something unique like that.
I don't have I mean, that would be fine with me. I just want to stop them on third down. So whatever we do, I really don't care.
Whatever can get the crowd. I think something like that would get the crowd more fired up than a damn ship horn, but that's just my opinion.
Well, again, you got to look at trends, and if we've been doing better on third down efficiency this year with the horn, I think we stick with the horn.
Well, we had the horn last year, and we didn't do worth a damn.
The difference in new coaching stuff.
I think we did a little bit better at home. Again, Kyle, don't confuse our road woes with our home success now. We did a little better probably third down efficiency at home.
Especially Coach Blackwell. Yeah.
Give Blackwell some credit before
those two wins.
Before November.
Wins. Yeah, those 3 wins. I'm sorry, those 3 wins last year at home were fantastic.
Yeah, we won half our games at home.
I don't know. Maybe look. Maybe I think I could produce a better game atmosphere than what's being done there. Maybe I hold these people to too high of a standard, but I just there's certain things that I would change, and I think it would improve the atmosphere.
Speaking of which, I just saw, Kyle, I'm not too far away from the great town of Robertsonville, and I saw something I've never seen before on the road.
Okay, what is it?
I saw a man driving. I just passed him driving a minivan, and the side door was wide open.
He's pretending to be a UPS driver.
I've never seen that before. So anyway,
in Robertsonville, there's no telling what you might see, Dave.
That's true. That's true. A home of Marcus.
Was it William?
William?
I'm joking. William.
William from LaGrange. Yeah, poster driver. Yeah. No.
That's right.
I started to bring that up earlier when we were talking about the situation with the chancellor. Just as far as remember a few years ago when he was talking about you might not want to try to corner the chancellor, and so now we have.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Now we have a chancellor that's more likely to corner you.
Wait a minute now.
And I don't mean that. It's not a bad way.
Turns out Bubba Rosenbaum's responsible for this.
Not cornered, but he's more likely. You don't have to approach him, and I'm saying it because
Bubba in the corner.
I'm saying it because I like Chancellor Dan, and I think it was like he said, a poor decision, wrong time and place. But hopefully he'll get a second opportunity, and he'll be back.
Drew, you wanna? I know you're a Pirate Club rep and you love signing people up. Do you want to? I don't know. Can you promote that? How do you promote that? Is that something?
Okay, well, gentlemen, you obviously have a lot of engaged listeners, and most folks listening to this podcast are
We got a lot
probably
of gay listeners?
engaged listeners.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I don't know if they're engaged, married, or what, but
Okay.
they're tuning in the program. They know their stuff. They're listening for a reason, and most of them probably are Pirate Club members already.
Probably. That's true.
But if you are, and if you are not, you need to sign up, get involved, get on a monthly pay plan, get behind the team, fund scholarships, and if you are in the club, reach out there and find one person or two people between now and December and get them signed up. You know, if they get in at the swashbuckler level, $250 a year and above, they get access to the new Pirate Club level. They're underneath the Southside Press Box, Town Bank Tower. So there's lots of incentives to get involved. It's not too late. Get your 3-game pass, get your season tickets. Basketball's coming up. Like to be on the show again, talk about that. We're going to have a fantastic season. It's going to be a turnaround. So there's lots of reasons to get involved, you know, past the football priority deadline of May 1st, you know, to continue giving and to continue to find new people. So I encourage anyone listening, if you're in the Pirate Club, talk to someone you know who's not a member. Approach them, you know, in a friendly way. Don't make them feel alienated that they're not part of the club, and give them an application. If that doesn't work, give them my cell phone number. They can email me. I'll get an application to them in 20 minutes. And the people who run the Pirate Club now with Philip and Will, they're very engaged. They'll talk to you personally, and they'll answer any questions that you might have. So find whatever county you're in, find a rep, or you can find me. I can share my email with Dave and put in touch with me, and I can help you get involved in the team behind the teams. It's very easy to get involved, and we need all the money we can get.
Folks here in the Charlotte area, you can certainly contact me as well. That's what I communicate with Chase Blake, who does an excellent job in this area, and you can definitely reach out to me at it's Bubba Rowe, BUBBARO81 at gmail.com.
And if you need to get a hold of me, I am LizCityPirate at hotmail.com. Liz like Elizabeth City, City like City, Pirate like you know what at hotmail.com. Gentlemen, right. I got to run. I got to drop off here. I appreciate being on the show. I'd like to come on again. We can talk other things, and hopefully by the time our listeners or your listeners hear this, we'll be getting ready to kick some owl ass. So,
all right.
Have a great night, guys.
Enjoy the game.
I'll catch you with y'all soon. Go Pirates.
All right. Appreciate it. All right, that's a good opportunity now, guys. Why don't we go to Bubba, if you will? I had a chance to sit down with a great coach recently, and we want to play the interview, don't we?
Yeah, we're looking forward to having Andrew Sapp, men's golf coach, back on the show. And now let's talk to ECU men's golf coach, Andrew Sapp.
Well, one of my favorite sports that I'm terrible at is golf, and right now making his debut, the head coach of the East Carolina Pirates, the head golf coach. That will be Andrew Sapp. Coach, thanks for coming and welcome in.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. We wanted to have you on and give the golf team some love. I know that it's, like I said, it's a very challenging sport. I'm terrible at it. Coach, right out of the gate, if one of these days before I die, I hope I can break 100. I'm terrible at golf, even though I love it very much. But I'll just be honest about that. I love the game, but I'm more of a spectator in the gallery, so to speak, but certainly love what you're doing. And I just want to give you a chance to give a little bit of background. I know a little bit about you, but for Pirate Nation and others that may not know about you, can you give your background before you came here to East Carolina?
Well, certainly, yeah. I mean, I'm from North Carolina. I grew up in Raleigh. I played my college golf at UNC. And then straight out of college, I became UNC's assistant golf coach. And back then, the ACC didn't have many assistant golf coaches. I was what they called a restricted earnings coach, making $5,000 a year.
Wow.
So, anyhow, now things have changed quite a bit, which is good for our sport. But then I went from up to snow country. I coached at Purdue for 4 years, and then Michigan for 9 years, before coming back to North Carolina, back to UNC, my alma mater, for 6 years, and then about a little over 2 years ago, came over to Greenville to wear purple and gold.
And we love that. And I tell you one thing I love about you is I was looking at your background again today. I remember when you were hired and was impressed with your resume. One thing I saw is that you've won no matter where you've been, and that's important to me, being a Pirate. I don't care if it's tiddling winks or whatever. We want all our coaches to be great. And looks like at North Carolina and Michigan you had a lot of great players and championships and different things. So that really stood out to me.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been fortunate. Every school I've coached, we've had top 10 finishes at the NCAAs. So we're looking to do that here at ECU.
Tell us, what does that take before we talk about the roster and different things? What does it take? I'm starting to become bigger on recruiting and paying attention even at, like with you guys with the golf or whatever team. But what do you look for in a player, or what are you going after? Where do you search for? I think there's 13 guys on your roster. How do you decide the 13 that you have?
Well, really, you look for players who've had experiences playing against people they're going to play against at the highest level of college. So we're fortunate. We've got an incredible state for boys golf, for high school golf. I mean, North Carolina is the fourth best state in producing college male golfers in the country. Texas, California, Florida all have bigger populations and all also have good weather, but they're the only three that produce more college golfers on the men's side than North Carolina. So we're fortunate in that there's a lot of great golfers in our state. I mean, we have 13 players and 12 of them are from North Carolina. So we're always going to primarily look at players from inside the state because it's so good. But there's also a lot of great competition for those kids in our state too, whether it's the Dukes, the NC States, the Wake Forest, the UNCs, and then Clemson and Virginia like to come in our state and rob some good players as well. So, but we're just blessed with a great state. So we look for players who have good competitive records against players that we know are going to play college golf and going to play at the next level, because those are the guys they're going to play with when they get here.
Well, I know that you were talking about that being a great state in North Carolina with Pinehurst, and we have a lot of traditions of hosting now U.S. Opens and down in Pinehurst. And there's all great golf around North Carolina, South Carolina, and the region for sure. With East Carolina, as far as climbing the mountain, how do you get to that level of taking a team all the way to, say, the finals?
Well, it starts by getting the right players in here, the kids who want to work hard, who want to continue to grow and improve throughout their 4 years here. And we've been fortunate. I mean, our guys have improved their stroke averages pretty much every year that they've been here. And it's just a matter of continuing to help develop them and help them grow as people, as golfers, as students. But it all starts with getting the player who can come in, hopefully as a freshman, and start right away, because that's how you grow. You just gain that experience as a freshman. And because you see a lot of sophomores have a bunch of tremendous growth, because that summer after their freshman year, they've learned so much that they had no clue about as far as playing college golf. And then when they get here their sophomore year, the lights are already on. They're not a deer in the headlights, so to speak. So, but if you can get a player who can start right away as a freshman, that's kind of what we look for in our recruiting, because we're not a sport like football or a sport where you have to learn a playbook or get bigger and get stronger. If you can shoot 68, you can shoot 68. Doesn't matter how old you are.
Right. And that was one question I had. My son Alexander this year he's always liked golf, but for those listening, we'll get to your roster next, I promise, that have a son or a grandson that's 6 years old or young, or daughter. My daughter's 5. She's starting to, because of her brother, that's a year older, nice. She's starting to create an interest. I've always heard the younger the better when it comes to a sport. Is that the case with golf?
I think so. I mean, but it's got to be fun. I mean, you've got to have it be fun for them. They have to enjoy it themselves. They have to want it for themselves. I mean, I've coached plenty of players who, unfortunately, by the time they're junior or senior years, they've been pushed so hard by parents that they're kind of burned out. Well, they're like, well, you got 2 more years left of college golf with me. So it is one of those things where it's just got to be fun for the kid. I mean, my recommendation is whether to get with your local golf association. I mean, that would be the Carolinas Golf Association here in North Carolina and South Carolina. But start playing in competition as early as you can. And I know the Carolinas Golf Association does a tremendous job putting on junior golf tournaments and at different levels, at different ages. So I encourage people. I mean, there's more to playing college golf than just being able to have fun with your buddies at the local golf course or playing golf with mom and dad on a Sunday afternoon. You have to be competitively ready to play college golf, and so for a lot of people, it starts at a young age.
No doubt about it. Let's talk about your roster now. Can you talk about your guys? I want to get folks familiar with your young men. 13 looks like I saw this morning, and I know that you guys were recording this on Thursday, and a couple of days ago, you were in Winston-Salem, had looks like a great outing by your senior, right, Taylor?
Yes, I mean we really do have. We've got 4 seniors, and Blake Taylor has done a fantastic job really throughout his career. He's started every tournament, and Patrick Stevenson has started almost every tournament of his career too. So we really look to those 2 guys. Over the last 2 years, they've both had almost identical stroke averages as our lead players, even as sophomores and juniors. So we really lean on those guys for their leadership. And Blake's been playing amazing. Finished 6th in his first tournament up in Michigan. Finished in the top 15, I think 12th or something like that at Duke, and then 3rd at Wake Forest. So he's having a special fall right now.
No question about it. And as far as the guys, and help me out on this, isn't it like there's a number of guys, 4 or 5 guys that start? There's other guys that you could put in just in case, but there's a number of guys that you can play at every tournament. Is that right?
Yeah, there's 5 players play
okay.
at each tournament in your starting lineup. And right now there's no substitution. So the 5 guys that you show up with at a tournament are the 5 guys who are going to have to count for you. In each round, though, you drop your worst score. So if you take your 4 best scores from each round of competition, and that becomes your team score. So there's individual accolades as well. You can win the tournament as an individual. You can win the team as a team. But from a team standpoint, you get 5 players, and the best 4 scores each round count.
Is that tricky for, there's a lot of, when you play a team sport, I know that it's still a team sport, but you have individuals. Is that tricky when you have guys like a Blake Taylor who's doing very well, but yet he also needs to be there for his team, right?
Certainly. I mean, that's not really the tricky part, because guys want to win individually, and if you're competing to try to win individually, you're automatically helping the team. So that's easy. I mean, if you get guys who are trying to compete to win tournaments individually, it helps the team. But then you've got to have guys who maybe near the back end of your lineup throw a good number in there, because at some point in time, your best player is going to have a bad round, and you're going to need to count another score. And it needs to be a good one if you're going to help the team. So, yeah, but this is kind of the way golf's been going for the past 30, 40 years. So we're all kind of used to it, as well as are the college players, because most high school golf is the same way.
Coach, as far as the conference, looking ahead, the conference play, how do you guys feel about this season, and how does the American stack up with the rest of the nation as far as conferences go?
Well, we're very different from every other sport. We don't have a regular conference season.
Right.
We don't play like a volleyball or a baseball or soccer, where you're playing head-to-head versus somebody else in the conference. We basically schedule our tournament schedule, and this week we saw Cincinnati, so they're in our conference, and but it wasn't like a conference match. We don't have a conference ranking. Basically, we just look at the national ranking and see where everybody's ranked in our conference. So, the best teams in our conference are probably not difficult to figure out. You've got your two Texas teams are always going to be pretty good, SMU and Houston. You've got your two Florida teams, South Florida and Central Florida are always going to be pretty good. Memphis actually won the conference championship last season, which was kind of a shock. I mean, they were the 6th seed going into the tournament. We were the 5th seed going into the tournament. So, but our conference is strong. I mean, it's a conference that's made up of teams from like 8 different states, so it's widespread, and a lot of those states are sunshine states. Or with us, you've got Texas and Florida as 2 of the best states in the country at producing men golfers. So it's a very competitive conference.
And after that, how does it work as far as East Carolina or whatever team? How do you make it to the national tournament to have a chance at the finals?
Well, we're very similar to basketball, like how I like to explain it.
Okay.
In basketball and in golf, you've got your conference champions; they're automatic, and then you have a committee who basically looks at the rankings and fills out the rest of the NCAA golf regional fields. So we have an NCAA regional. There's 6 of them across the country. And if based on your conference championship or your year-long ranking, you qualify for NCAA regionals, then you play in typically a 13 or 14 team field at regionals, and the top 5 out of each of that make it out. So you have 30 teams at the national championship. So it's tough. It's tough to make it to regionals. You typically have to be in the top 60 in the country to make it there, and then obviously that 1 week at NCAA regional championship, you got to finish in the top 5 to make it to the national championship.
So it's definitely not an easy feat. It's definitely going to be, and I guess that's the way it should be, the creme de la creme there at the finals.
Certainly, yeah, it certainly is, and you do have some shocks. You do have some teams from time to time who are in the top 5 or top 10 in the country who don't make it through regionals. That happens because we play a sport where, I mean, there's so many variables. And then you've got teams who are maybe 60th in the country and they get hot on a regional weekend and they make it to the national championship. So that's the nature of our sport in golf. So it can happen both ways. But yeah, making it to the national championship is very challenging. But the regionals are our goal, because making it to the NCAA regionals means you've had a good year, because what we do in September counts towards that. What we do in March counts towards that. It's all based on our year-long ranking. Making it to the national championship depends on 1 3-day period during the year and getting your guys to peak during that time to make it.
Well, I definitely know with the players in good hands with you, no doubt about it, and I know all the staff. And before we let you go, how do you feel about it? I know you've been here a couple of years now. I know you're from North Carolina, but how has it been being in Greenville and East Carolina so far?
I love Greenville. I mean, this is an awesome place to live. Everybody here is a Pirate, so the support that we get for our golf team, as well as all of our athletic teams, is tremendous just from the community. I love our athletic department. It's a very family atmosphere. I enjoyed the camaraderie I have with the other coaches in our athletic department. And you don't always get that, especially for a sport like golf, because we're away from campus most of the time, right, at golf courses. So we're not sharing gyms and sharing facilities and things like that, except for with women's golf. So this has been a great place. It is a great place. It's great to be a Pirate. That's for sure.
Well, we're very happy that you are a Pirate, and certainly I want to wish you and the team much success this season. Very excited about having you, and I think this group of coaches we've had, I've been a Pirate fan since 1986. I'll put you guys up against them. A lot of the coaches throughout the years that we've had have been great, but I think it's great to be a Pirate right now. Thank you so much and I look forward to meeting you very soon.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to meeting you too.
Thank you very much to Andrew Sapp, our men's golf coach, and certainly look forward to. He was awesome. Appreciate him, and appreciate all the coaches. I say this a lot, guys, but we're very blessed to have probably the best set of coaches we've had in a long, long time. And he's a guy that including North Carolina, everywhere he's been a winner. I like the hire there, and I'll give Jeff Comfer credit on that. I think it was a good hire for our men's golf coach.
Yeah, even a blind mule can find an acorn sometimes. No, wait a minute, that's a blind squirrel. Even a blind squirrel can find an acorn sometimes. I guess a blind mule can too. But so yeah, Comfer made a good hire there.
Yeah, I think it was an excellent hire as well. That's what I was excited about it when I saw it. And then and something else I wanted to point out: the performance of senior Blake Taylor. Here recently, he shot a school record 63. So I know this spring, this coming spring of 2020, they're going to be back here out at Irish Creek. I went out there for that tournament a season ago, hosted by the Charlotte 49ers, and I look forward to seeing our guys, hopefully, if there's not a conflict.
Do you said it's called Irish Creek. Now, do you ever go to Irish Springs?
I'm sure there's probably an Irish Springs course somewhere.
It's also a delightful soap.
Right, man.
We'd love to have them as a sponsor on the podcast.
Absolutely. The Irish Springs Sports Objective podcast.
That would be great. We'll get in touch with their rep for sure. Guys, certainly want to remind folks that we'll be talking again. Get ready for a lot of fun next year. Our cruise, we're having a lot of fun talking about it, but it's going to be even better. Nassau was not hurt. It was not decimated like a lot of people think. We're going to go out of Charleston to Nassau, the Bahamas. That's going to be July the 16th through the 20th, a 4-day cruise. Very easy get, so no matter where you are, to Charleston, one of our favorite cities and towns, if you will. And it's going to be a lot of fun. In fact, I think we're going to try to go on the 15th if we can. Maybe we go the night before. We'll see if we can do that. But anyway, Dana's going to be back, and we want to drum up some support again. We got a little bit off course, if you will, because people thought that it was decimated, and some of the Bahamas was decimated, but not Nassau. It didn't even get touched at all. So looking forward to the cruise next year, and hopefully we can twist Bubba's arm to go with us too.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Where's Stacy? Can we get Stacy on the line?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's at PTA at the moment. Okay. But
hey guys, and Bubba, were you finished?
No, I was. Go ahead if you had something about that, and I have an announcement that we need to make as well.
I didn't have anything else about that. I was going to tell everybody that they need to come join us over on the Pirates Cove Facebook page. That's the Pirates Cove presented by the Sports Objective. It's the latest and greatest place to talk East Carolina athletics. And you can come over there and chat with us and get involved in some good discussions about Pirate football. And we value everybody's opinion. Just please, when you have an opinion, have something more to say besides somebody sucks or something along those lines. Critiquing someone is just fine. But make it a pointed critique. But come join us over at the Pirates Cove. It's free to join, and we're pushing 700 members now, and want to keep growing it.
Yeah, the announcement that I had was with our Pick the Score contest. We needed to announce last week's winner. We actually had 3 people get the score dead on. We knew one of those 3 people, Thomas McLaurin. He had 24-21, and we also had Patricia Ann Hall, who was our winner. So congratulations to her. She had 24-21 first, and her Pirate prize will be headed her way. It's East Carolina 610 coolers, so that'll be nice for her to carry to the ball games, to tailgates, what have you. And so, and then we also have Diane Lockwood, who had 24-21. So
yeah, and of course the tiebreaker was who posted it first.
Right.
So that's how she won. And Bubba, 2 weeks ago, our winner was Hunter. What's Hunter's last name? Hunter
is, I guess, I haven't spoken with Hunter on the phone, so I'm guessing it's maybe Kosover or Kosover. It's Over. So
yeah, he was our winner 2 weeks ago, and he won a East Carolina basketball wall clock.
I love that.
He is an East Carolina student, and actually he's someone that Brennan Shapiro is friends with.
All right,
well, maybe he had insider knowledge for that score from Brennan.
Maybe so. And want to remind folks, as always, that to definitely pick the score, pick them. We love that, and I think it's been a lot of fun, and certainly give a chance to interact with our listeners, and certainly with East Carolina fans and Pirate Nation has been a lot of fun, and we'll continue to do that throughout the season. So make sure that you pay attention to Facebook. If you haven't done it yet, go over there and do it certainly before the game starts, and that's our deadline, right, guys?
Yeah, and in the coming weeks, I'm going to make an announcement up here, and I haven't even mentioned it to you guys yet, but we're going to have a charity. We're going to be pushing really hard here over the next couple months, and I'm going to talk to you guys about it when we get off the phone. But I think you guys will approve greatly, and so all the listeners, be ready for that, and be ready to give and give in a budget.
All right.
Last thing I'd have is make sure you listen to our Pirate football playback for Temple. Obviously, this is you're hearing this on Thursday, so game day. But tomorrow, make sure you check out our Pirate football playback, and we'll take a look back at hopefully
Friday.
What will be
that will be Friday. Yeah, we'll have that out.
Pirate victory over the Owls, hopefully.
That sounds good, guys. I appreciate all your hard work, and I want to thank Brennan Shapiro. Has been great. Speaking of him, going to press conferences and the post-game, I should say the post-practice press conferences. I just want to give him a shout-out for all his hard work and appreciate him behind the scenes as well. And hopefully we get a victory tonight, ESPN, 8 o'clock. And, of course, our good friends at, let me see if I can get this right, the Pirates, Pirate Learfield IMG Network, with Jeff Charles and Kevin Monroe, Marty Fuhrer, and David Horn twisting the dial. So I'm going to be listening to them and watching the game with the sound turned down.
You're not going to be there, Dave?
Well, that's true. I'm going to be there. So I normally used to watching the game when they're away. But I can actually watch it on my ESPN Plus app, I guess. Anyway.
You want to.
Yeah. But the quality's been so bad, hopefully that will
We're black, guys. We're black. And Dave, remember to be there. It is a home game. But everybody, we're black. 5:30. It is a blackout, so have your black on.
Get your black on. Yeah, there you go. All right, guys, enjoyed it. And as always, I want to thank Andrew DiGiovanni, our special co-host for our roundtable. Thank you, Coach Andrew Sapp, our men's coach, and appreciate all the hard work
you're doing. All people named Andrew.
That's right. Andrew and Andrew. The Andrew and Andrew show. Kyle, thank you, man. Appreciate you very much. And Bubba, until next time, I'm Dave Richmond. You've been listening to the Sports Objective Podcast.
You've been listening to the Sports Objective Podcast. Join us next time as the guys will be objective, and the objective is sports.